Hello everybody, Redzone here. Welcome back to another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Today's gonna be a very sort of like a topic or discussion and stuff like that. You guys see the thumbnail for the video and the title as well, so I appreciate it. We're gonna be talking about some units that they got shafted with either their guard abilities or their counter abilities. Just to preface what it is and the topic of conversation and everything like that, before we go any further, I will appreciate it. I thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you're interested in the subject, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you click on the like button and subscribe, I greatly appreciate you even more. So hope you're having a wonderful day today as well. So counter unit, let's talk about either counter units first, and then we go over to the guarding units, because this is a topic of discussion that I don't know, there's not a lot of units like this in Dokkan, and the units that are benefiting of counters or guarding, they mostly get shafted. There's a kind of a balance or a scale that you need to look around when in regards to like balancing units, or in terms of, oh, guard, is the guard too powerful for this, or his defensive capabilities match up with the guard capabilities or the counter capabilities. Like, is he getting still a lot of damage, or is he getting hit for a lot even though he's defending pretty well or tanking pretty well? However you want to look at it, there's a sense of the degradation when it comes to these units when they're provided with like guard or counters and stuff like that, and they are just bottom of the some of them are just like the guy that you're seeing on your screen right now. He is bottom of the barrel. So I posted a tweet saying they really just said F you to this unit, huh? And I did like a, you know, that big long showcase that you guys were able to see. If you guys were not able to see it, please make sure to check it out. I basically go throughout every single unit that got their ECA throughout the Divine Power edition of the Battle of Gods ECA, so make sure you guys check that out. I basically I have timestamps around the video, so you guys can be able to look it up even easier. So you just click on the video, go to the description, go to where the section of this guy is, and you guys will see how underwhelming this guy can be. So then I posted some of the reply shouts to Senor David. Say they did. I feel like they hate counter units. They do hate counter units, and also guarding units. I'm really scared what they'll do to Tech Ultimate Gohan when his ECA comes around. And then our boy Celtic Link, shouts to Celtic Link, saying guard is now a high chance to guard. Shouts to Temin as well. This is physical Super Vegito 0.8. So obviously, of course, let's I open a bunch of tabs. We're gonna be talking about some of the units that are getting their ECAs and stuff like that, but those are counter units, those are guarding units, and what we are going to be fearing in the future, you know? So let's go ahead and go around some of these units, right? So first of all, let's go over to this old unit. Let's go over to Super Vegito. Int LR Super Vegito is a, like I said, very old unit. He recently, I guess last year on Global, he did get his ECA. And very nice. Before his ECA, he was looking okay, but it's not like super reliable on it. He's able to counter normal attack with tremendous power. This is something that we're gonna be looking at. And over here, obviously, of course, it still stays the same. Counter normal attacks with tremendous power. There's I believe tremendous power, they have a multiplier for it, which is 300%. I don't think they have another measure apart from this one, unless we get to see it from other different units and stuff like that. So when you look at it this way, right, you have a unit like this. He has the capabilities of hitting the counter normals with tremendous powers, and you think to yourself, what ability would you give this guy for counter units? Most of the attacks that you're going to be receiving in a fight are normal attacks. So once you get this guy transformed, what you will want to give this guy for him to exert more damage with his counters is crits. That's why a lot of people advise you to put more critical on the hidden potential to units that do the counters. So that's not bad. This is a pretty good combination that you will want to see, right? On a unit that does a counter. This guy reduces damage received by 30% for 3 turns from the start of turn. And then that lowers down to 15%. This is okay. We'll use that as a bit of a leverage that you want to see. He's not guarding, right? So he's just reducing damage received, and he greatly raises defense on his super attack. Which what you will want to see is, like, let's say double super attack, and then you're getting attacks on normals, and he's not taking a lot of damage. He's not gonna get he's not gonna get you killed unless it's a super attack, where the super attack lowers immensely his defense, and then you get a bunch of attacks in there. But this is a pretty good split, like, balance. What we're gonna be discussing on the video, just to let you guys know, the type of balancing that the units need to have, whether a unit has a counter mechanic, what is the other counterpart of that? You know, what is he gonna be more defensive? Will he more sustainable to receive more attacks? Will he die upon receiving a lot of like a lot of hits? And those are the type of things, you know, like you got the counter mechanic, but what is the other thing what is the other half? What will the balance be for this unit? Is he gonna be? Will he have damage reduction? Will he have guard? All those type of things. So then we go over to this guy right here, this STR Vegito, Super Vegito. Again, he is another counter unit. Normal attacks with tremendous power. But this unit in particular, he raises attack and defense only for 1 turn. He doesn't have any damage reduction in here. So basically speaking, if you're trying to bring him into a red zone fight, and you're trying to rely on this guy's heal, because he does recover 50% HP upon transformation. But are you going to rely on this guy's counters to defend you on a red zone fight? Let's say you're facing red zone Broly. You're going to depend on this guy's normals? No, because the part of it all is that on comparison to this guy, which reduces damage received, this guy does not. He doesn't have any damage reduction. He doesn't have any counters. I mean, he doesn't have any counters. He doesn't have any guard. That's what I meant to say. He doesn't guard. So, and his defense is a little bit low. You know, 11,600. That's not crazy defense. So that's the spiel of what we're looking at. You know, if you're gonna give a unit counters, you gotta like try to give him something to defend himself. You know, same thing with guard. That's something that we're gonna be looking at. The big disappointment of it all is that I tweeted this guy out. It's like, oh, they said F you. We don't care about this guy. It's because of this, you know. He guards. No, he doesn't guard. He has the counters. He reduces damage received from normal attacks minus 40%. By the way, just it's specified. If he gets hit with a super attack, you're dead. Because this man doesn't raise defense on his super attack. He does get defense, but he needs to put out super attacks for him to be able to do that. And actually, no, he needs to get hit. He gets an extra defense plus 80% for 4 turns after receiving an attack. 80% of defense is fine. That's an okay defense threshold. But he's not guarding. His defense is very low too, like 10. Actually, no, this is not. His defense post ECA is 11,000. It's almost the same type of. Oh, I think, is it better than this guy's defense? Yeah. Yeah, a little bit, but he doesn't. He's not offering you anything special, you know. He's not giving you a lot. He does damage reduction, but for normal attacks. If he gets super attack, he's gonna get slapped. And you guys saw him on we were in that fight, but I think somebody else got supered. I think. But his damage as well. Like, this guy doesn't do, like, he only does like what, 2 million? Like, what good is this unit? We can be able to use this guy, this Super Vegeta. Super Saiyan Vegeta right here goes into Super Saiyan 2, and he's gonna be a lot better. But he counters. I haven't used this guy to his full capabilities. That I don't know that he counters. I don't think he does. He just guards a lot of attacks, you know? And that's another thing that I'll keep this guy up, because this is a pretty good example of a unit that you will want to see. The balance is there with this guy. So next up, we're gonna go over for this guy. My God, I am dreading this man on global, because I remember back in the day when this guy came out. He came out on 2018. Yeah, Valentine's Day of 2018. He was a Halloween unit for JP. For us on global, I wanted this unit so bad. I never was able to pull him. I think he was featured on the banner. I just don't remember which banner it was, but I believe it was years later that we didn't have the coin shop, I think. And he was available, and I was like, oh my God, let me just summon for him and see if I can just get a few copies for the coins. No, I actually got an overdose of him now. But look at this, man. Like, yeah, he does 80% damage reduction for normal attacks, and he counters with tremendous power. But there's not a lot. He doesn't raise his attack and defense. He raises his allies' his attack and defense for 30%. I don't know if this counts for him as well, but I really don't think so. He gets defense plus 150%. He gets an attack buff for each attack received. He needs to get hit 6 times. He has a chance of doing crits. He gets defense as well. But he needs to receive an attack 3 times in battle. Those 3 hits, imagine those 3 hits are just like sustainable enough for this guy to get perished. Like, he can't take a super attack. There's no way that this man can take a super attack. I will try to fight. I will try to test him out when his ECA comes over to global. But man, this is just disappointing. Like, there's nothing here. He does reduce damage received for normals, but you want to depend on this guy. Let's say you have a fury of attacks. You want to depend on him to not get hit, you know? Or if he gets hit for all those attacks, to not be a super attack. And it's like, okay, so we got many attacks in there. He does he have a counter mechanic? No, he didn't. Wait. I thought a unit. Wait, so it's this guy. I'm sorry, I'm confusing him with him. He foresees enemy super attack when HP is 40% or less. That's. I thought that the scouter was for this guy, but no, he is not. It's for the AGL one, which again, this is another good example. Like the AGL Super Vegito, he can be okay, but he doesn't do much. He doesn't raise his attack. He doesn't raise his defense. If he would have raised his defense, that would have been much better. But this is not good. Like, you gotta balance the scales between a unit that does a counter. You want to provide him something that overexerts that slight weakness that he has. Like, he has the counter mechanic. Yeah, that's great. That's a pretty nice offensive build. But you're gonna leave him open. You're leaving him susceptible to withstand a lot of takes, withstand a lot of hits, and what will cover that exponential weakness that will not get you killed? That is another purpose of this video. Like, I'm trying to look for something that makes me use this unit, or that makes me use this unit. I want to look for the other angle. Like, are you not gonna be weak? Are you gonna get hit tremendously a lot? You're gonna get destroyed? Let me know, because I will not use you. I on my showcase, I didn't even get to this guy. On that rage, like furious Vegeta. So it's not great. It's not I'm not gonna use this unit. Like, we got him ECA, perfect. We did the showcase, wonderful. That's it. I'm not using this guy because there's no need for me to use him when I got this guy. That's another like beautiful thing. I mean, you can use them together, and they have a different name and such. But look at this guy. The beauty of things. Now we're gonna go into the guard units type of thing. This guy guards all attacks for 5 turns from the start of turn. Okay, but here's the thing. You want to give him something extra, right? So he gets an additional attack and defense plus 40% with each attack received up to 200%. So he gets up to 200% defense. It's great because this doesn't raise defense on super. You're not going to raise defense on super attack because he only raises attack. But this guard is going to be helpful because this defense complements that guard. You see what I'm getting at? The thing is that if you want a unit that counters, right? You want to have a unit that counters. This guy gets defense. But he would have gotten him on super attack. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get enough defense for you to be able to survive a super attack. He gets what, 180% defense? Actually, no, up to 90% defense, it says. But it's every time the character receives an attack 3 times in battle. So his defense capabilities, he's not gonna be too high on defense. Well, this guy, like I said, this defense complements him. You're doing yourself at least a service when obviously you're going over to Super Saiyan, and like I said, guards all attacks. He gets a substantial amount of defense right there on the start of turn. This extra defense right there, you're providing him ways and means to defend himself and not rely solely on the guard, you know. So yeah, these units, actually let me just take this guy off because I mean Super Vegito, Super Vegito has a special case. You want the attacks that you're giving this guy to not be a super attack. If it is a super attack, well, you gotta retry to run again because you're dead. But he can be pretty good in tanking normals. But that's it. Like, his damage capabilities, I feel like a lot of people would try to misunderstand why units like this exist that are not too strength. They don't have a lot of strength capabilities, you know? That you're not gonna see this guy pump up a 7 million attack stat when he counters. You know, they try to balance the scales. I guess Dokkan is like, oh, this guy can guard, so we're not gonna give him too much, you know, or this guy can hit counters, so we're not gonna give him a lot of attack power. It's something I feel like under headquarters, that's what they say. You know, we got Rage, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma, but this unit in particular, who gets angry, he just try to destroy Beerus when he slaps Bulma. You will want to see that the same rage that you see on that fight is provided to this guy, and he will do like insane mega damage and stuff like that. He will be going crazy, you know. But no, it doesn't happen. So the way that Dokkan is gonna do it is like they're gonna balance the scales. This guy can counter, or I'm sorry, I'm gonna give him bad damage, because he will be too overpowered. I guess that's what they're trying to do in terms of balancing units, you know. The balance of these units is not like the craziest, you know. You guys are not going to see this guy pump up to a 10 or 20 million attack stat when he guards all attacks, you know. Another excuse, I'm actually going to bring this guy. Another excuse can be this guy, but we're talking about him a little bit later on. I gotta continue because the video is too long. Guarding units, like I said before, you gotta give him a nice balance. You guards all attacks for 5 turns from the start of the turn, and then he gets this added bonus. He gets an additional defense. This covers up a lot of ground, because units that only raise attack for 1 turn, they will not raise defense. But if you give them on their passive, oh, you guard and he raises defense upon getting hit. Perfect. That's good. That's amazing. You want to do that because these are units that need a little bit more oomph on their kit, you know. And we go to this guy. A lot of people shit on him because he does this. He guards all attacks, and this man greatly stacks attack and defense. A lot of people are shitting on him because he does this. I don't know why. Oh my god, it's gonna be so broken when this guy gets his CCA. And you know what? It's almost gonna be 3 years since this man's release. We haven't gotten his ECA yet. Is it because they're scared? I'm not gonna go with this guy, 2017, and he already got his ECA like 5 years later. So don't expect this ECA to come down pretty soon. Don't expect this guy's ECA like right in this year. I think it's gonna be next year. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 2025. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, this is his kid. Like, guards all attacks. He stacks attack and defense. You guys are never gonna see a more immaculate unit like this guy, and they shit on him. Why? Because he's too good. Is that it? Are you guys shitting on this guy because he guards all attacks? Wait, stacks attack and defense? Is that it? Like, this guy is good. He's gonna be really, really good. That he doesn't do 10 million attacks then? I mean, he could do it here. And he's still guarding. The only thing is, though, is that he just switches from greatly racing attack for the turn. Because he's gonna exponentially do a lot more damage. But that's the cover ground that you want to give this unit. Okay, greatly races attack and defense. He's stacking attack and defense, so your defense is gonna be solid. And he guards. That's amazing. That's perfect. I don't know why people hate on this unit. I really don't know why they hate on this unit. This guy is amazing. He's phenomenal. So, I really will never understand that. But then we go over to this guy. This ruins it. High chance of guarding. He is able to guard all attacks, but when guard is activated. If guard is not activated, then bye-bye. It's like a roll of the dice. If 3 or higher gets you the guard, you're good. But if 3 or lower, you get 3 or lower, you're dead. But yeah, he only raises defense for 1 turn. He stacks attack, but we don't want him to stack attack, especially on units like Gohan, that they are notorious for their guarding capabilities. And, you know, of course, raising defense as such and such. But I always have a gripe with this, because units that are meant to be defensive and you give them this high chance of guarding, is not great. I feel like somebody, yeah, this guy posted on the comment, guard is now high chance to guard. They revert this man's chance of guarding. Instead of guarding all attacks, he now has a high chance because it's too overpowered. You guys complain about it too much, you know? So yeah, this is a perfectly balanced unit. Is he too broken when he released? Yeah, because you never expected a unit to be so defensive. This guy can get to up like 1 million defense, and you still have this for free. That's why this guy is so good. He is very, very good. But they shit on him because apparently the guard is too much. He guards all attacks. He stacks a lot of attack and defense. I guess you guys can explain in the comments as to why they shit on this guy so much. Like, I don't see the demotive, like the derailing of just saying that this guy is crap when he's not. Like, he's really, really good. Again, units like this guy, when he has a high chance of guarding all attacks, this hurts the unit. Like, okay, high chance of guarding all attacks. Can you give me something that counters that? You know, give me that oomph to make that this unit is a stable unit. He only raises defense for 1 turn. Does he get any additionals? Yeah, he is able to launch an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack. But this is when guard is active. I'm sorry, you only have a 50 chance of that happening. It's stupid. You know, you're not giving him a lot. It's again, roll of the die. If it's 4 or higher, you're good. But if it's 3 or lower, this guy's only gonna give you 1 attack, and he's gonna get super. The guard is not active. Boom, you're dead. Simple. Then they gave this guy his ECA. This guy is really, really good on this form right here. This guy is phenomenal. He's gonna hit like a freight train. But when you go over to this guy, that you're gonna possibly rely on him more than anything, because he does this, stacks defense. Then he guards all attacks. This is the basis that you want to give to units that guard. You want to raise his defense or stacks his defense. He stacks defense, then boom, guards all attacks. This is the same like type of thing that I would want to give counter units, you know? Either give them damage reduction or give them defense or stacking defense and stuff like that. Because you're on the hidden potential side of things, you're gonna give this guy crit instead of dodges, you know? Because you want him to get hit. You want him to receive these attacks for all these buffs to get in there, you know? But let's say you put this guy with full dodge. You're never gonna get that. So you will rely on counter units to give crits because, you know, you want the more amount of damage provided to this unit. Because he counters, you know? And they don't do that. They basically did a mumbo jumbo of this guy. So this is the basis, like this is the thing that you want to give to units. You know, there are only slight numbers of units that have guard, they stack defense, and they're really, really good. This is one of them. This is a pretty good example. I don't care what you guys say, this is another good example. This is a pretty good unit that stacks defense and he guards. This is a very good unit. But units like this, where you gotta had a high chance of guarding, man, it's just horrible. Then we go over to this guy. The disappointed Ultimate Gohan. I mean, we were bound to have an LR Ultimate Gohan, but everybody wanted Beast Gohan. So let's go over here. He guards all attacks for 3 turns upon the entrance animation, but he only raises the attack and defense 1 turn. And remember that after 3 turns, he doesn't have the guard anymore. He loses that, so he needs to rely on all of this. All of these things, you know? And a lot of people complain that I gave him a lot of dodge, and it's for a good reason. Because this unit in particular, he does a lot of good damage. He has the high chance of nullifying. I guess I'm concerned about bringing this guy into the conversation, because he only guards for a specific amount of turns. Yeah, no, actually, forget that I brought this guy in, but just keeping into the coins of conversation, that you will want to give something that units have a hole in. Whenever they get ECA'd, you will want to give a unit something to protect themselves with. You know, these 2 units are great. And once they get their ECAs, you will want to expect that they're gonna be extremely better. Hence, Extreme C Awaken. But, I mean, of course, if you go from this to this, it is gonna be significantly a little bit better. But there's always a hole that they don't cover, you know? And that's my gripe with these units. So yeah, let me know what you guys think on the comments below. What are your guys what do you, first of all, 2 questions. Do you prefer guard or do you prefer counters? And what would you do if you were provided with a unit that either, like, what would be the thing that complements a unit that guards or that counters but doesn't do significantly amounts of damage, or basically just it's not up to par to units that we would want to see these days? You know, like, this guy is not a pretty good unit, but everybody expected this guy to be so stupidly nuts, but they gave him so little in terms of, like, damage, you know? or you want units that guard, but they're not like you get this like a high chance of guarding and it's not great, and you got to depend on the dice roll and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys would do if you won't, like, if you get these types of units, and try to look for means and ways to complement units that basically suck, you know. Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you guys stopping by, watching this video. If you guys like and enjoy, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Make sure you guys check the link in the description for Ningen's merch store, the artists that provide the beautiful art for this channel, and many more things down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.